And we're back. Plumbing Around, sponsored by Temecula and Nelson. I'm Scott. Today I'm here with Robert Welsh of Vivian's IO, owner, founder, along with your wife Vivian.
Yes.
Smart move to call the company after the wife. Yes.
We'll talk about that.
Good call.
Yeah.
I believe we met through like Temecula Chamber of Commerce events.
Chamber of Commerce. Yeah, I think you met Vivian.
Yep.
And she said, "Hey, I met this guy, really nice guy, Scott. I think we should go talk with him.
We're going to get him."
Yeah. And you fell for it.
I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
sorry.
a sucker. So I'm also a client. So we'll talk about that. So what's the name of the company you mean?
Yeah.
So Vivian's IO.
Okay. So just imagine back before ChatGPT was even known by most people, right? We were into it in late 2022. And so I'm like, okay, well, let's start this company. Talk to Vivian. She's like, okay, let's do it. And
I don't think it was that easy.
we look at, I'll get to that in a little bit. So we of course go, where do we go to find a name for the company? ChatGPT. And it comes up with all these horrible names, right? And because I want it to have like some of Vivian's name in it and stuff. So it comes up with like Vivicia and Vivitech and all this. And our kids are listening to us debate this, right? And they're like, Dad, those are horrible. And then after literally an hour of talking about it, one of our sons says, why don't you just call it Vivian's? And that was it.
There you go. What's the IO part?
So IO is a suffix that, believe it or not, means Indian Ocean. It's a territory of Great Britain, but the tech community has taken it over, and a lot of tech companies use IO because it stands for input-output,
okay.
right? Which is like a technical coder term. And we didn't really want to pigeonhole ourselves into the AI space necessarily, so we thought, okay, let's go with IO. It's a tech kind of suffix, and we'll be good with that. And that's how the name came.
All right, good. And the wife was okay, her being like Vivian's.
Yeah, no, she was fine. I mean, she's the front of the business. She sets the tone. She does the values. She owns most of the company as appropriately.
She's in charge. Well, I get it.
So we're like, yeah, that kind of makes sense. So yeah, she's totally fine with it.
That's who I see at all the events. So
that was the idea.
Yeah.
So Vivian at Vivian's is a common thing.
Yeah,
that people are finally getting used to. It took a while.
Yeah. So what exactly does Vivian's IO do? What's your guys' company offer?
Yeah. So there are a lot of needs out there that we address. I think the primary ones are a couple of things. One of them is it's just hard to keep your data and your systems organized and running in such a way that they provide as much value as they can. So sometimes your CRM or your lack of CRM or whatever just makes it really hard to manage your business and growing your business. So we spent a lot of time in the early days working on that with customers to bring them more value. Of course, on top of that, it's also AI. And with the way it's growing and changing so much, we bring a lot of value just in let's train your people, let's train your leadership, let's start with the low-hanging fruit and get everybody on the same page about what this is, all the change management that goes with that to bring in pretty fast, high-value, low-cost opportunities for companies. And really just demystify the whole thing, at least at this point in time, subject to change in a week, right? Because we see things happening all the time. And then the other part of that is, well, with these two kind of technologies, CRM data as well as AI, can we automate some things? Can we take some things that are kind of redundant and boring and frankly, most people don't want to do and have these machines do it? So that's what we also build for customers. And we usually focus on things that, like I said, no one really wants to do, but a machine can do it, and it's a lot less expensive, and then that gives the human that used to do it more time to do more human things and more interesting things, and that's kind of what we do.
Nice. Yeah. All right. Well, AI is like the hot buzzword, the tech word, the everything in the world word these days, right? AI this and ChatGPT and there's other ones out there. And, tell us about it a little bit. Like, I just started recently using it not too long ago after being introduced to you guys and my buddy Jenna from Selective Services.
Yeah.
Give me a rundown. How can people use AI and ChatGPT?
Yeah, well, I think more and more people now, of course, have heard of it and know what it was than just even a year or two ago. We would go to events and ask folks and do one of those surveys that you can see on the screen, like who's answering, and most people would say they didn't even have a login or even know how to use it or what it was. Now it's totally reversed. Almost 80% of people we run into know what ChatGPT is and log in and do something with it. But yeah, so it's very transformational. It's going to continue to evolve. It's going to continue to get better beyond, let me just ask a question and get an output. It's going to start doing kind of robotic things, other things. You might heard the term agents. It's going to start being able to do more than just give you an answer, actually go to a website, let's say, or call a phone number or whatever. It's going to get pretty crazy. But it really is all just about predictions and probabilities. That's what the model is. You know, when you type in a bunch of words and say you want something, it's literally just internal combat with itself to try to figure out what do all those words mean, and here's the most likely output I should give you. Because it actually turns the words into math called tokens.
Oh.
And then does stuff with the tokens and then turns it back into words. So that's why it's artificial. It's not really thinking, but you can chain these things together, and that's when they can start doing more and more than just giving you one answer. Like research, for instance, that's going to be another big one too, where you can go in now if you pay for ChatGPT and you can say research XYZ topic, here are the things I want to know. And you can literally see it there going agent after agent after agent doing different things to come back to you with like a Britannica type answer, you know, of what you asked for. And that's one of those things you can automate too if you do a lot of research. So it's going to get wild. And it's not going to stop. It's going to grow a lot. The question is, how do we as business owners apply it in such a way now that gives me value for a while, right, and allows me the flexibility to make adjustments and stuff in the future and get that ROI or that return on investment right away.
Well, I guess that's what my next thought was.
Yeah.
Was how is this going to impact companies? Like,
yeah,
working with you, I've seen some of it already, but
yeah.
say people aren't using it or whatnot. How can it positively and maybe negatively, I'm not sure, impact companies?
You know, it's funny. The first place that it can help in any business is internal and external communications. So external is pretty simple. Everyone knows what I mean by that. Marketing, outbound sales calls, how to say stuff to customers and you know, to people you would sell to, let's say. Although I think internal is actually a bigger use case. And when we work with companies, we realize people, we must hear it once or twice a week. People say, you know, I wrote it this way, but I know that wasn't the best way to say it. You know what I mean? So I asked ChatGPT and it put it in a way that was probably better.
I started with, hey, bro.
Or, you know, I'm really mad you stole my pizza or whatever. And then it says, it has come to my attention that my pizza has been missing or whatever it is, you know. So yeah, I think internal communications is just as important as external. And that really crosses, you know, marketing, sales, customer service. So for most companies, that's the place I would start. Get your people trained up on how to use these tools. A lot of them are free, if not all of them to some degree. And just, it can be about communications, research, and predictions and things like that. That still takes a little more work to get right because it can be wrong.
Well, it's a lot of question and answers, right? Oh, that's not exactly what I meant. What?
Correct.
Let me update or define better what I was trying to get at.
So you'll ask again, right? Instead of getting it that one time. And that's a whole skill in itself, is like getting this one shot prompt where you ask for what you want and you get it right there versus I have to ask it 10 times. And sometimes by the time I ask it 10 times, it's still not what I want. So that's one of the things we help with, you know, companies getting to the point. But back to, you know, outside of research and math and things like that, what it's going to tell you to say to someone, let's say, or put in a social media post, that's still subjective. There's not necessarily a hard right or wrong on that. So it's easy. It's a little more forgiving once you know how to ask for what you want. And it can actually help you with your internal relationships, right? And how you work together. I mean, you can even, are you familiar with like DISC or Myers-Briggs or some of these sites? Okay. You can even go in there and say, I think this person is a yellow or is a INTJ. I need to explain this to them, but I'm really afraid because last time they got mad at me. And it will say, here's how you should approach this with them.
See, I didn't even think about that. Now you've just, I'm going to go input a bunch of stuff because I've done it with our people, right? We've taken the disc.
You should absolutely do that. Right.
So and I'll be like, how can I get this person to do exactly what I bleeping want?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So everyone should know, did you do Myers-Briggs or DISC or which one?
DISC.
DISC. Okay, right. So everyone should know what everyone's color is or what everyone's, you know, designation is.
We get what the 4 quadrants.
Everyone should know. And then there would be nothing wrong with, on occasion, everyone on your team that's a knowledge worker at a desk, has a browser, should be able to go in and say, I need to talk to Scott. He is a green or whatever. This is the subject, right? And you can get some pretty good value right out of the gate. Yeah. Now, the next juice is building those just for Winelson and just for you, custom. And that's one of the things we help with too. But you can at least start with just the basic tools and then, be able to explain things in a way that will help you communicate what you need from someone else to do or understand.
I wish I would have thought of this or had this conversation with you before performance reviews.
That's a great place to start. Absolutely. Performance reviews. Sure. Any kind of feedback as a manager, as a leader, any kind of feedback, I would absolutely run it through and ask those questions. Hey, they're this. This is the subject. This is my position. How do I need to communicate this? And okay, you ready? This is the third pro tip.
All right.
Tell it to ask you at least 3 questions to get clarification on what it is you want before it outputs.
Oh, okay.
So it'll say, okay, Scott, so explain to me has there been a problem before? Or it'll ask you all sorts of things, you know what I mean? To hone in even more on what it is that it's going to output to you and make it even better.
Nice.
Yeah.
No, I've heard, that's good stuff. I like that. Thanks.
Yeah, sure.
I'm finding more value in you today.
I'm here to help.
No, I've heard that you can get, besides the free version of like ChatGPT, if you don't pay for it, and it's not very much from what I remember, they can use your information. Have I heard that?
Yeah.
But if you pay for it, it's yours then, and they can't universally.
Good question. Yeah. So here's what's interesting. I think and this changes by the week, but the last time I looked between the paid and free versions, they both had a switch in settings where you can say, do not train on my data. So that old idea of if I use the free version, they're going to train on it, I think has gone away. I know this is being recorded or whatever, but check that. The problem is it's on by default, either version. So everyone needs to go in if you don't want the system, whether you're paid or free, to train on you. And by the way, training just means I'm going to take your stuff and reuse it in some way later, potentially, and understand it versus throw it away. So you need to go into settings, turn that off. And I want to say it's something like, use your data or allow us to learn from you or train from you, something like that.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Is there, just from our small conversation now, it doesn't feel like there's a certain market or a certain kind of company that this would be even more useful. It sounds like it could be useful for every company.
It is. Like a lot of technology, right? Most companies need a customer relationship management system, something to manage their customers, and it's various flavors. It's different for legal than it is, let's say, for, a tire shop or whatever. Again, anywhere there's communications, internal and external, you have high value use cases, sales, marketing, customer service, all of those kind of things. So you can apply it right away. And but you start with your people and kind of elevate them, because they're going to do one of two things. They're either going to use it and think it's great and it's not, like send an email that says, I hope this email finds you well. Every ChatGPT email starts with that. So that's kind of a dead giveaway. And there's a bunch of things like that. So they'll be overconfident in its outputs. That's a problem. Or they'll get frustrated when they first try it and they're like, this is dumb. And they'll put it away and then they won't use it.
You've met my team?
Exactly. So what you do is you sit it doesn't take days or weeks or anything. You can get some pretty good value right away, but you just go over these fundamentals of how to make sure it's explainable or understandable what it's outputting, right? And if you're not sure, how to question that. How to get citations, right? How to even determine how confident it is in its answer. You can ask that.
What do you mean by citations?
Meaning you can say, where did you get this information from? And it will tell you, here's the link I got it from. Now, if the link is an advertisement for a product, you know that output might be a little biased because it found it on the internet. But if it says, oh, I got this from, encyclopedia, whatever, okay, well, it might be a good answer.
Watch out for Reddit. Yeah.
Correct. Reddit's a huge source of training for these models. One kind of the last bastion of training, by the way, is Reddit. But that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah.
So back to your question though. Yeah, every kind of business can. What I would say one of the use cases too that's kind of level 2 is listening in on conversations. So you can already record like Zooms, right? You know what I mean? You can record a Zoom call. who's ever gone back and listened to all these Zoom calls that they've ever recorded? Most of us don't, right? But now Zoom actually can even transcribe, and Google can as well, transcribe the meeting, which you can then shove into AI and say, how did I handle that sales objection? What should be my follow-up email? Is this a good customer for me to have?
Was that like Otter?
Kind of like Otter, right? But you extend Otter in the sense that you take what Otter outputs and you put it through your own processes so that it knows, I am Scott at Winelson. Here are the things I'm trying to do here on my calls. This is a call about ABC, what have you. And then it will say, yeah, Scott, you handled that objection fine, or no, you didn't. Or here's the follow-up email to get the sale go, or whatever you want. You put it into assistant sales manager mode and it will do stuff for you that you would, yeah. So like a lot of law firms and a lot of other companies that have salespeople, we're installing these systems that's like a free assistant sales manager that listens in on the calls and gives everybody feedback. So that's level 2. Level 3 is you take all of that and you keep it forever. So that 6 months from now, when you want to remember, did I talk about something on a call, you can go talk to that data like you would ChatGPT and say, did I make a decision about putting sanitary products availability in my auto signature? Right. And it'll say, yes, Scott, on September 27th of 2024, you had a call with your team and you all decided blah, blah, blah. It'll help you remember those things. Because how can you write notes and take notes and send them all out and then remember every call? You can't.
So is that just a different software?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You're basically just aggregating all of your call data into one place. Otter does that a little bit on its own. The problem with Otter and a lot of these is that they don't know what you do. So they don't know you're Scott. They don't know what kind of call you're on.
I don't know
so
what I
they're
do
kind
half
of
the time.
guessing. When they give you the notes, they don't do bad, but they're guessing, okay, here's the next action item. That's the challenge with them. But when you build your own, it's like, again, having an executive assistant in every call of your whole team that then you can call anytime 24/7 and say, hey, did John have a call about this a week ago? And it'll say, yeah, they talked about this. Pretty slick.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So we've employed you now.
Yep.
You and Vivian, entangled. Okay. To do a CRM for us.
Yep.
Right. Because we didn't have anything. We didn't have any way to know who's talked to who's done whatever.
Sure.
How's that project gone?
Well, you tell me. You're the customer.
Well, but I'm just wondering how my teams, worked with you guys and how's it working with people in these? Because I know some of us don't know bleep about this going into it.
Well, so I think we set expectations. We started working late last year together, right? I think heading into the holidays when we started working together. Okay, yeah. So I said, okay, this is going to be a slow roll. We knew this was going to be a year-long process. And the reason we knew that is you guys have a lot of stuff going on day to day. And it's kind of hard to slow down and get together. So we had to take kind of baby incremental steps, which is what we've done, right? So we put in all your customer data from your 1970 legacy order system. You know what I mean? We finally got it in there and we got those systems talking, so they have all the data. Okay, and then we've set you up with an ability to quickly, automatically contact your customers, and send them emails and stuff after you've met them, which is the bane of every salesperson's existence. Do I really have to go back and type in first name and last name? Okay, no. Now you just take the picture of the business card, it heads in and sends out the emails. Right?
And that's one of those bot things, right? Or the automations that you were talking about behind the scenes?
What's funny about that one? Okay, so the only thing in AI that is the image taking. Because I had tried to use OCR, optical character recognition tools, in my sales roles in the past, and they never worked well. They would get the names wrong, the characters. It was just a mess. And so what we did is we built our own proprietary tool that takes the image of a business card using AI and says, you're going to get a bunch of information, make it pretty to go into your CRM. And we built that for ourselves. So that's a proprietary tool we built. And that's the only AI you use. Everything else is standard email automations that trigger, when you load leads and stuff like that. So we're trying to, elevate you and elevate your, touches of people and what have you. And then, the rest is going to happen. Be able to manage your, special orders, things like that get lost. We'll put that in the CRM. And that's an open project. Your guys that are running around. I think it's a great strategy, by the way, going around to various companies that can use your product and offer them support right there and product right there. And then we'll bake the automations into that. So once they have that meeting, that client gets the touch automatically right after away. That's all going to be great. But yeah, it's a slow roll.
Yeah.
And we knew that. And I think it's okay.
Well, we're
Every
what,
customer's
6-7 months in now.
Yeah.
And I feel like we're right on the edge of things like kicking off and
Absolutely.
the guys getting into it. And yeah, so I'm pretty excited.
Yeah.
Because it's going to make things a lot easier.
Yeah, thank you. I am too. I think, you're speaking of the guys, being able to send, in essence, templatized emails from the CRM, and then everyone can see who's emailing who and all of that. That starts to get hard to manage and know, and you start stepping on each other, all those things. So with you guys are going to be in an amazing spot at the end of the year when we finish this project.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah.
So what's your background? I mean, where'd you come from?
Yeah. How far back should I go?
Back as far as you want. I mean, AI's only been around for a couple years, so you didn't do that coming out of high school or college.
So here's what's funny. So I went to college, and in the early 90s, I got a bachelor's degree in criminal justice, of all things, thinking I would go work for the FBI or cops. I had some physical limitations that didn't make that happen, and I ended up going into private sector for a short time. And then I got into computers. And then the internet started. The internet was still new. In fact, the internet didn't exist in the early 90s. It wasn't until the late 90s, right?
Oh, I know.
Right. So I'm like, this internet thing's pretty cool. Well, then I got a graduate degree from the University of Maryland in computer systems management, thinking, oh, cool, I'm going to run a bunch of computer stuff. Well, you needed a geek in a suit at that time to get everyone to use a browser to order instead of phone your order in, right? And these integrations and all these things. So I ended up doing kind of sales work and then sales leadership for almost 15 years after that. So I didn't really get into tech, other than as tech was evolving, I was always the guy that kind of was looked at it like, hey, can you make this stuff work? So Salesforce, when it was new, I was the guy. And I worked for Staples, by the way, for almost 20 years on the business side. That's where I spent most of my time.
Okay.
So the trucks that drive around going to businesses. So it was all that. Yeah. So spent a ton of time mostly in sales and leadership, but always with a certain kind of technical bent. And then I worked in construction and furniture, interior furniture, kind of like this, for a little while. And then just decided, you know what, I need to get back into tech because I like it. And my originally was just going to get into Salesforce.com, if you're familiar with that, and just kind of admin that and run that. And then ChatGPT showed up, and I said, Vivian, why don't we start this? And the rest is history. That was 2.5 years ago.
All right. Well, and I mean, that's being a business owner. I don't know. It's kind of a ballsy move to do. Leave safety, right? Leave what you know and go out and start your own thing. So what made you to decide to do that? What was the...
I just worked for enough other people to help them be successful, which is fine. It was my choice. I totally get it. I don't have any resentment or anything, but I thought, you know what? I'm getting towards the end of time, and I had and my time working, and I had also remembered, as you did too, what economic opportunities happened when the internet was new, and then websites were new, and then social media was new, and I saw this in late 2022. I said, this is going to blow those away in terms of AI, right? And so that was the kicker. Had AI not come out, I probably would have been working for somebody else and doing CRM for a large corporation or something like that.
Right.
But when ChatGPT showed up and I got in there right at the beginning, when it was really bad still, but it was good enough, you were like, this is cool. I thought, okay, we got to do this. So it was just kind of one of those once in a lifetime things. We got in early and we've just leveraged that ever since.
Nice.
So,
congratulations.
thank you.
That's very...
It's been a wild ride.
Yeah.
Changes every day.
It's going to get wilder, I think, too.
It is.
Yeah, because like you said, it's almost a daily...
Somebody's coming out with a new technology, a new capability, a new version. China's coming out with a new version. You name it. It's every day. So we have a part-time person on our team that just does research. Happens to also be my oldest son.
Yeah.
But he's into this. And so every day he gives us a download on what's happening, because a lot of the value we bring to companies is what's happening. How do I get my head around this? So we have to stay up to date on what's happening. So he's on the payroll just to help with research every day.
Nice.
Yeah.
So family, sounds like it's a family business. You you want to talk about your family? Do you want to?
Yeah, sure.
You got Vivian, the wife.
Vivian, yeah, we will be married 34 years in July.
Wow, 34.
Kind of crazy.
Are you guys from California? Or?
Vivian's from Guatemala, which is the country, just south of Mexico.
Okay.
Came here when she was 6, moved to Long Beach. I grew up in Long Beach, California, and we lived there our whole lives until 23 years ago. Moved out here, lived the suburban, family kind of dream, raised our kids here, all of that kind of stuff. Yeah, so our daughter is, she is a student in biochemistry at UC Davis. Ooh. So she is a junior, about to become a senior.
Check out the big brain on her.
Big brain, very good studier. But here's what's fun. Mm-hmm. And for all of our fans that are in Temecula, she wants to come back and be an equine vet. Oh. For horses. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of her thing, even with all the science. And it's kind of like she wants to go to vet school and then help with horses. And then, we have our son, Christopher, and he goes to MSJC, and he helps with the research. And then Charles is our junior at Great Oak High School. And, he's getting into trouble because he's the baby. The baby's always getting into trouble. But he's good. Yeah, so we all talk about this stuff all the time. And they've got to witness, Dad moving from a day job that he wasn't always happy about to a business that he's not always happy about, but that's okay, because it's a different path. And so I feel really blessed that we've had the opportunity to kind of show them that that's a possibility, because I didn't grow up with that. I don't know about you. My parents just worked, and I just thought I'll just work, so it's been cool.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. Very cool. What do you guys do on the weekends? What are your hobbies besides being a nerd?
Yeah, no, I'm a musician. I've played in a couple bands locally.
All right.
I took a break because of the business, so I haven't been able to play.
Is it driving you crazy?
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. Yeah. I mean, I can still kind of shred at home and stuff. I play the bass guitar, so I can still play a little bit at home and stuff, but it's okay. I'm trying to set up a computer kind of music lab and stuff, be able to record with people around the country and just share tracks and stuff, Yeah, do some recording and stuff. But yeah, I'm a musician. Vivian is part of a number of organizations, Toastmasters. She's on the board of that, Professional Women's Toastmasters here, Professional Women's Roundtable. She helps there. Just a number of different organizations she's helping with. So that's a lot of what she spends her time on too. And we're actually we're just became members of Rotary, I think, as well. Vivian did that. So so exciting. So those are the kind of things we spend our time on. Otherwise, it's just we live in a wine country, so. We'll go to the wineries now and then, and
a little toast here and there.
Or just sit in the backyard, if it's not too hot,
Well, good luck.
Yeah, for the next 3 or 4 months, for sure. Yeah.
All right, being a bass player, your favorite song with a bass line?
Yeah.
What's your favorite bass line?
So I'm going to age myself again.
All right.
Since I know when
I have mine, but I'm just
so I set the bar very high, which was a good thing as a kid. And I idolized Rush, and Geddy Lee was the bass player of Rush. I would say he's probably one of the best, if not the best, bass player in the world. So he was my favorite. Now, Flea from the Chili Peppers, hard to argue that he's not amazing, too. I love Flea too. So those are probably my top 2, influences and stuff. So so I try to be as good as them. I'm about 90% there. I can't do quite everything, but I feel good, being 90%, Do you play or anything?
Oh, no. I'm tone deaf. I don't, you watch the Voice or American Idol and they're like, oh, you're not in the pocket. And if you go up an octave, and I'm like, sound pretty good to me. I don't know.
Well,
so I have no idea.
That's okay.
Yeah. No, I just like music. My favorite, and I don't know who did it or whatever, but song Superstition.
Stevie Wonder.
Yeah, well, that's Stevie Wonder, but I don't know who played the. I don't know if he played the.
That's a great
question.
But
the bass line in that is just.
Oh no, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a great bass line.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So did you play football?
I did not.
No. Man, I could.
I did throw the shot put though.
All right. Okay.
So it was kind of a somewhat related to track and field.
Yeah, I see being a guard, mowing some people down. No.
Believe it or not, let's see. I was 80 pounds lighter, same height in high school. So I was kind of a rail.
Trying to think.
Yeah.
I was a lot lighter in high school.
Yeah. I was 80 pounds. Yeah. So I wasn't that big in high school. So, but that was okay because I was shredding the bass,
Yeah.
at horrible clubs, and didn't want to hurt myself. So being a little
Did you have
lighter
the long hair?
I did.
Yeah.
I had hair and I had a ring just like you. By the way, I'm a little jealous because I used to have one just right here, but I got rid of that when I got into corporate.
I did. I worked at a bank.
Oh,
And I had the long hair. I had the mullet. It was
cool.
late 80s, 90s for me.
Perfect.
It was big deal,
Sure.
mullet. And
Yeah.
they're like, and I had earrings and, I had a bunch of earrings. And they're like, well, policy is you can't have your hair below the collar if you're a man. And the HR manager was a woman at that time. Had very short hair.
Yeah.
I was like, well, you get to choose what hair you want. Why can't I? And she's like, Scott, don't make me mad. I'm like, okay. So I had to cut my hair for that. And so to do that, I was in charge of the IT data center. And so we had a meeting once a week. And at the end of the meeting, I was like, okay, everybody, for all the people that I've pissed off, here you go. And I broke out some clippers. I'm like, shave it, go to town. And most of them just sat there and went, what? But the ones that had worked for me for like 7 or 8 years are like, get out the way. Here we go. And they shaved my head at work. And it was.
That was pretty bold.
It was.
Yeah. And you just shaved it off.
And then I went in the bathroom and used a disposable razor and did the rest. And then the vice president of the bank saw me. He goes, you won't go from one ridiculous extreme to the other. I'm like, all right.
Wow.
Yeah.
How times have changed.
Yes. You know how I could have sued him? Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. So. Well, I mean, everywhere we go, there's all different styles and shapes and everything now that would not have been cool back when we were teenagers. But whatever.
Yeah. I hear you're a coffee fiend.
I do love coffee.
Yes.
I have to drink very little caffeinated coffee, though, which is a bummer because it always tastes so. I know. Then why drink coffee, right? What's the point?
Yeah.
So I go with like half calf, third calf, mochas,
All right. What's your favorite?
Yeah, it's mochas.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I'm not
almost any kind of mocha.
All right.
Well, my favorite, let's talk about local, is the Press Espresso. If you're familiar, I think we were going there. There was one in Old Town. I think they have 5 now.
Okay.
And they're all around. Yeah. Oh, the best Belgian mocha because they actually put Belgian chocolate slivers in the mocha.
Shave it into it.
Oh my goodness, it's amazing.
I don't like coffee, but I almost want to drink that.
You should. Oh, that's right. You don't drink coffee at all?
No, I just don't like the taste.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Why drink things that don't taste good?
Yeah.
Does beer taste good?
It did when I drank.
Did wine taste good?
No.
So beer.
Not after I drank 3 bottles myself in one night. And then the results, after that, it did not.
Yeah, something about us when we do that, kind of whatever it was that we tasted that did that, doesn't taste good for quite a while.
Yeah. Yeah, still, yeah.
For me, it was gin. I had like 7 gin and tonics when I was 22, and I couldn't drink gin for 20 years.
Yeah.
Made me sick.
Tastes like
it's horrible.
Pine needles to me. I don't know.
Yeah.
What's your favorite food then?
Oh, goodness.
I mean, it's like asking what your favorite song is almost, right?
Yeah.
I got 100 of those, but.
Favorite food. I'll just go with the steak.
All right.
But let's be clear. Ribeye.
Ribeye?
Yeah.
All
Ribeye.
right. Ribeye.
Marbled with just the right amount of fat with the bone in it. Actually, tomahawk.
Okay.
Which is a ribeye, but a little bit thicker. It has the bone or whatever. Oh, my goodness. Those are they're a blast to cook, too. They're kind of fun, to put it out on the grill and stuff. But, yeah, they taste amazing. But they're like, it's like buying a car now. They're so expensive to eat meat of any kind.
That's a loaf of bread, too, or eggs,
That's
right?
true.
Jeez.
That's true. What about you?
My favorite food?
Yeah.
Tacos. Or peanut butter. My all-time favorite food, peanut butter.
By itself, or do you need...
I can eat it out of the jar with the spoon.
Really?
Man. I love peanut butter.
Since you were a kid, or just like...
Yeah. My whole life.
Really?
Yeah. And then probably tacos.
Okay, but here's the big question, Scott. I have to ask.
Oh, yeah.
Creamy or
Creamy.
nutty? Okay, no
Creamy.
Nuts.
And the favorite is Jif.
Why?
Because it tastes the best to me.
It does, huh?
I don't know. That's my favorite. Yeah.
So Skippy.
It's okay.
So Skippy creamy would not. So Jif creamy.
I mean, I would eat it.
Okay.
Right. Like I'll drink a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
But my favorite.
Gotcha.
Right. Yeah. The Jif creamy We always have at least 2 big jars in the house.
Great.
And I probably have it every day.
Good for you.
I know.
Yeah, that's not,
I feel pretty good about it.
Yeah.
Makes me happy.
Yeah. Mostly natural fats in those, right? I mean, they add some things.
Well, I buy the natural.
Oh, you
Jif.
do?
So it's got to be good for you, right?
You would hope so. Is it the kind you have to refrigerate and mix up with your
No,
spoon?
you don't really have to mix it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll see.
Just to make myself feel better.
Yeah.
I say it's good for you. So
Good. Good for you. Yeah. Peanut butter. I'll remember that.
Peanut butter.
What about Nutter Butters?
Yeah, they're okay.
They're just okay.
I'm
just trying to think of something to bring by next time I come by.
Chocolate chip cookies.
Oh.
You put the peanut butter on the chocolate chip cookie.
No way.
And then a big old glass of milk.
Peanut butter on a chocolate chip cookie and glass of milk. Okay, mental note. That's what I'm bringing by the next time we've got it. Yeah, something going on.
Now, if you don't,
I'm in trouble.
I'm firing you.
Oh,
you just screwed up.
You would do that too.
Yeah, I'm not nice sometimes.
I could
especially when it comes to peanut butter.
Or lack of.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Your wife did make a delicious cookie though.
She
brought us some cookies at one time.
The best chocolate chip cookie maker on the planet, and I'm not just saying that. Everyone says that.
It was really good.
Yes. That's part of why I have many more pounds to lose.
Tacos, pizza, cheeseburgers for me
steaks,
too. Yeah.
All the healthy things.
Yeah. So as a business owner, what's your advice to people who are wanting to start their own business? So now it's been a few years for you now.
Yep.
You've probably had some trials and tribulations.
Yeah.
What advice do you have for?
Yeah. Well, first of all, there's a lot of advice out there. And what's funny is you hear, if you do this one thing, if you do these 3 things, you'll be whatever it is, marriage, business, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
But here's the magic bullet. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
The magic bullet is there is no magic bullet. It's a bunch of things that if you're committed, you're just going to do and adjust and change and do and adjust and change and all that's what it's going to take. So I would say consistency. Mm-hmm. Once you've come up with a model, and probably preceding that is, what is your business model? And what's the value you're going to bring? And can you do it for a price that people will pay? That is also profitable, right? If you can't answer those things, you're going to have a tough time. But once you've answered those, stay consistent. For us, one thing that was really kind of special was, a lot of tech companies, they go after business in a digital way, social media, email marketing, buying lists, pounding us with a bunch of spam all day. And we took the opposite approach. And a lot of that was because of COVID, because we were kind of coming out of COVID and we felt like people want to connect. We didn't connect for a while, right? Let's connect. And so we've taken our business, and it's been more fun this way, completely in person. We spend very little money or time on our websites or social or whatever, and we spend a lot of time meeting people and establishing relationships. So I would say if your business model makes sense, consider that. Watch out how much time you spend on social media and your website. Get it good enough. But if you can be supported by the local community and your customers are kind of like ours, like almost everybody, go meet people because you want them to know, like, and trust you. And there's no way to get that faster than in person, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, right. I mean, you and your wife are pretty personable.
Yeah.
I liked you guys when I met you.
Yeah.
I had some questions, of course, about the business and everything, but it was, oh yeah, all right. I like these guys. You establish a connection.
Right.
And you just seem like good people, and that's what I like to do business with, right?
Me too.
Yeah.
I don't know who doesn't. Yeah. Would you want to hire somebody
there's
or
people
work
out
with
there that
vendors?
just, what's your price?
Yeah.
And, but that's not me.
So. No, and that's okay. And so let's talk about that.
Okay.
If it's all about price and that's not your model, it's okay to not do business with that customer. So I would tell that to your audience too.
Absolutely.
You're buying them as much as they're buying you, especially in a B2B relationship. This isn't just some transaction. You and I are both looking for long-term partnerships, right? Mm-hmm. To be able to support people. And so you've got to have the vibe. And if the vibe's not good and it's all about price or what have you, it's okay to say no and move on to someone that will.
Or we're going to treat you like that.
Well,
right?
that too.
So you
So you won't say no to the order.
Transactional for you?
Yeah.
Okay. But you're the bottom of the list.
Yeah.
And we'll get to you when we get to you.
Yeah.
So, if you don't value our knowledge and our willingness to do what we can and us actually caring about our customers.
Right.
All right. Well.
Yeah.
So.
Then the value you get is in the price.
Right.
And that's it.
Yeah. And get the bleep out.
Yeah. I hear you.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess the last thing I have is, what parting thoughts do you have? Anything you want to leave with people or anything like that? I mean, I've kind of covered what else do you want to cover?
Well, I mean, I think let's talk about you for a minute. I think you're doing a lot of amazing things. I know you're taking a lot of really interesting risks, trying new things. You're clearly a local owner that can kind of, do different things maybe than some of your counterparts are. And I really respect that about you. And a lot of what you're doing. Because you're in a highly competitive business, and you've got to differentiate. And the differentiation is you in large part and your team in large part. You always talk about how it's your people. And so I think you're doing a lot of things to expand on that and to make that known in the community for sure. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
So I don't know if you ever second guess yourself. But
every day.
every day. Exactly.
Yeah, that's part of ownership also.
I think you're doing great.
It is about people for me, right? And our team. I've made a effort to hire great people who may not be perfect, but either am I. But we give a damn when we care about people, and we try to treat them that way. So, good. But thank you. Yeah.
And then I would just say you as an example, whatever speed or degree to which you need to evolve technically and apply it's better than zero. It's better than doing nothing. Seriously, whatever it is, and I think we're at a point in time where, for your audience, you've got to do more, for sure, more than zero, and just be ready to keep adjusting and changing and frankly, changing roles and jobs. And even the training I just mentioned, showing people how to use ChatGPT, that didn't exist 3 years ago. We didn't even know what that was.
2 years ago,
and now there's business value in doing something different, but that's for your people, and it's to augment them and to make them better. And what's better than for like Winelson to do that? That's your stick.
Yeah.
You're trying to be better people. You're trying to be better people for your customers. So
I'm in a peer group, and one of the things we do is when we come in, we have a sheet of paper that we fill out. How's your week? And we score, and what are you working on? And just the last time we started a second sign-in sheet that has to do with AI and ChatGPT. What's your team done? What are you guys doing with it?
Great.
And we're going to use it going forward. So, I mean,
awesome.
Right? Changing times.
Absolutely.
So
that's good. Good for you. Good job focusing on
I didn't
that.
have anything to do with it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're still participating. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. But no, that's a great start. Something's better than nothing. Because if for businesses that do nothing, it's not going to take long for them to be irrelevant.
Yeah.
And it's just not going to take long.
And what's the saying that nothing changes unless you change it, or I don't know what I mean,
nothing is constant as change.
Yeah. You're going to get the same results if you keep doing the same thing.
Exactly.
So
all of that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, really, this is cutting edge stuff. And if they're not going to do it, you're probably going to be in trouble.
And I'll leave your folks with this. Change management is actually the biggest challenge business leaders have. It's not the tech. Maybe it's a little of finding people that can help with the tech. It's because everyone's thinking, is this going to take my job? Is this going to make me part-time? Am I going to have to do a job I don't like? That's all about human beings. You know what I mean? And so that has to be shepherded from a position of leadership, confident leadership, to make those changes internally so that everyone feels good about it. That is the biggest challenge of leaders, and getting their head around what's going to make sense to make this a positive change, not like you and I may have seen. The internet, a lot of people thought that was horrible, and they struggled. I had salespeople tell me, I'm in sales, I don't do email.
Yeah.
I'm in sales, I don't do computers. And I was in my 20s at the time thinking, I don't think that's going to work out. And that's exactly what's happening now. So no one can say that, but you can lead it well. You know what I mean? You can lead the change well. You can position it as something that's going to help people, which it does. And that's the biggest challenge businesses have. So don't let off the gas. Do exactly what you're doing.
Yeah.
Make it a priority.
And it needs to be.
Good.
Yeah. It was just a little faster, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
So how can people reach out to you? How can they find out about you? Where can they contact you?
Yeah.
If they'd like to find out more about you guys and what you do.
Yeah. Vivians.io is our website. As you would expect, we have a little chat bot down there in the corner with Vivian's face on it. You can click it. You can have a little conversation.
Just have the jaw that like just.
We're not that advanced yet because we're still trying.
I highly recommend
human beings and stuff. Yeah, but no, you can find us there. All of our contact. You can schedule a meeting with us. We'd love to talk with anybody about what's going on with them and go from there.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I'm a client. Temecula Nelson's a client. We appreciate what you're doing for us, and thanks for being on.
Sure.
I appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me, Scott. It's been great.
Absolutely. And what we say at the end of every show, water always wins. And so will AI probably.
Well, I hope so.
Thank you.
Thanks.